Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Not Exactly CW Movie Night, where we're gonna mostly talk about
Extraterrestrials.
and that's because
Is old.
it's cool. We're joined by Zach and Dean, and Zach expressed some interest in talking about Dem Alien, so I was excited to do this. What's going on, guys?
Not
Nothing much,
much.
man.
I always like talking about dim aliens.
Me
Right?
too, bro. Big fan.
That that's good. I don't really know where Zach lies ideologically on the topic, so this is gonna be an interesting time.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All right. Well, I mean, I get it's probably a good place to start. Like how much are you following the news on this topic? Like, did you watch the whole David Grush hearing at least? Like, where are you at with this?
I don't know that I've seen the David Grosh hearing. I guess I should have.
No, that's all good. That's a big one.
No,
That's
so
why
I haven't watched that one, and I know that you had sent it to John. Um, I'm 100% like believer of aliens. Like, it's almost like inconceivable to me that they could not exist. Um, I know that there's been a number of whistleblowers in the past. Bob Lazar comes up. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Um,
absolutely.
I don't know that I think he's the most credible person ever, but I know he's kind of like the big one historically for like maybe the past 30 years. Um, but no, I'm a big
Yeah.
believer. In fact, was last year I think it was we went to go see Ancient Aliens live. So the aliens guy was there, and some of the other people were there, and it was a really cool. It was almost like a podcast, I guess, live. Um, but yeah, no, I'm a big believer. I love it. I love everything about it.
Okay. So like there's a big line in the sand between people who think, man, the universe is so big, the galaxy's so big, they got to be out there, versus the people who think that your government is hiding the goods. So like where do you land between those two groups?
I guess if you could clarify, because I feel like both of those are the same thing, right? So in that
No,
case, you're saying if you believe in
one
aliens, there's two sects. There's
yeah.
like, okay,
One is just that they exist out there somewhere because the universe is so big, and the other one
okay.
is that they're here and there's stuff to see.
I think it's probably more likely that they're here and that there is stuff to see. I think that the technological explosion after the Roswell incident is pretty crazy. I think, the fact that we went from what was it 1910 the first flight to 1969 landing on the moon. I think that's pretty insane trajectory. No pun intended for mankind. I think yeah. I mean, to be clear, even outside of aliens, like I have zero doubt that there's awful, horrible things our government is not telling us about. Um, I think aliens just happens to be one of those things. But I feel
Nice.
like it's not rare that we find out, oh, here's some document drop from 30 years ago. What was it recently? Like the MLK stuff, I think it was that came out, or the
Yeah.
JFK stuff, where they were like, oh, actually, yeah, he was assassinated for whatever. Or there's some drop recently where it was like big news. I didn't pay too much attention to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things that one day they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, you know, them aliens real.
Yeah, and I think the longer this goes on, the less ruckus is going to be caused when that happens, because like people are just going to they're over it.
I
I
mean,
think I would be less shocked if tomorrow they were like, "Oh, blank 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 is in the Epstein files," versus "Oh, aliens exist." Like, I would be more surprised if the Epstein client list got released than if tomorrow they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, aliens are real." Granted, I think the human societal impact of aliens being real would be much bigger, but I think to me it'd be less surprising than I think most like rumored news stories. Um, if those were factual, I think I'd be less surprised for sure.
Dean, you probably are on the opposite side of that. Like you're probably more interested in the Epstein list coming out then, because you don't think the aliens are here, basically.
Oh, I'm
um,
interested in both, to be clear.
Zach said something. I don't remember what we were talking about. Zach, maybe you remember. But somebody was talking about something. You were like, "Oh, I still have bills to pay." Like,
Yeah, I think what was it, Chuck last night? He's like, "What would you do?" It's like, dude, I still got fucking, I still got to pay my fucking car note. Like, fucking aliens could be here, but unless the world is
Maybe.
like cataclysmically ending, like I still
yeah,
got to pay. It's not gonna
Possibly.
change my day to day for the most part. Like, I
There is
still
an
gotta go to
asterisk.
work.
It
Yeah,
could change your day to day though.
I mean, it could, right? If fucking Zorbo comes down and starts becoming an alien overlord, yeah, I can't
he's
get
a
to
No,
work. But
prince.
I mean,
no,
it's
it
kind of
could.
like for me. Like I'm not sure. I know Dean was work from home, and I'm not sure about Chris, but like for COVID, I think that was like probably the most significant historical event in my lifetime in terms of truly changing the world as we see it. And I still had to get up for work every day and go to work. It didn't change my life pretty much at all.
Yeah, but like
For what
what
I
we're
do for
talking
work.
about. Yeah, but like what we're talking about is like military, industrial contractors being given unfair competitive advantages and access to mind-boggling technology, and possibly sitting on the key to unlimited energy resources for the last 70 years that could have utterly changed the face of the earth.
Not
Oh
only
yeah,
that, but remember
yeah.
what we talked about. The conspiracy is, well, why did the aliens give the government that access? It's in
They slip in.
In
return,
exchange for
in
being allowed
exchange
to
for
experiment.
experiment on the
Yeah.
people.
I think that that's more likely than I do. To be clear, I think it is pretty likely that we found something and we reverse engineered it. I think that's pretty likely because we do that all the time, right? Fucking military craft. When we lost that stealth helicopter over Saudi Arabia, taking out Bin Laden, like they fucking tore that motherfucker apart. I bet and learned every secret about it. That's in our nature, but I think Dean's right. I think it's also very likely that there is some exchange of information, but I think
Yeah,
then
but
you have to wonder like how are we communicating with them? Like there's no common language, but
well,
I
we
think
don't
it could be done.
we don't make deals with rats. We just experiment on the rats, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not picking King Rat and giving him a
I
bag of
would disagree
peanuts.
with that. We got
So
to
we
give
take
the rat
five
the
other rats.
cheese. You give the monkey the nanner, and he does the rings the bell. Like
Yeah, but we're not buying rats from a rat. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like we're not.
yeah,
I
but a
don't know.
rat's not intelligent. You could barter with a human, right? You could take a human, or you could, a rat isn't going to sell you another rat. Well, I guess they could. There was
I
a
think
a TikTok of a dog selling his puppies with treats, and then every treat they took a puppy, and then eventually the dog was like, "What the fuck? Where are all my puppies at?"
that's grim. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know, man. I think that if they're if they've had technology for millions of years longer than us, which is statistically probable if they're here at all, then we're a lot closer to that rat than them.
Oh, 100%.
So
Yeah.
it's I don't know, but yeah, man. There's actually on this topic, there's always a ton of stuff to talk about, and here's my luxurious thumbnail for this episode where we have rudely spray painted over the movie night logo because we haven't
Yeah.
rebranded in any way, shape, or form yet. But here's a little story with not much information that actually only popped up yesterday. Apparently, some of the images from the Cassini Saturn mission have some weird objects in them that people started noticing just yesterday. And I don't know. There's really not a lot of data on this. I think the mission ended in 2017, so like these are a few years old. People just combing through archives, basically, coming across some weird stuff. I don't know. This could be like an optical thing,
I look.
but it does look. Well, I mean, it's official NASA image, but I think
Is
it's
it really?
probably. I think it's an optical illusion of some kind, probably. But there's it's real fresh and hasn't had like quality debunkers look at it yet. But I mean,
Yeah.
that looks like it could be a camera lens artifact or something to me. Maybe, especially the one on the left.
Cassini is the one where they flew through the geysers, right? On the
Like on one of the moons.
on one of the
Yeah,
moons.
that sounds right.
I mean, it could be an artifact of water ice freezing on the lens or something.
Yeah, because that doesn't look like Saturn proper there. That looks like one of the moons in the picture there.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I
'cause it's not a
believe
gas
Cassini.
giant.
They were checking out the moons,
Yeah.
and one of the moons is shooting off water into the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
I mean, Unfortunately, if it is a camera artifact, it happens to look exactly like a cartoon UFO.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like almost like really. That's what the UFOs look like. Like
We just been seeing them.
it's like crazier than fiction. Like that.
Well,
It's unbelievable to me.
well, that's what Bob Lazar says they look like too. So like, I don't know, man. Might just be that classic shape. But yeah, there's not a lot of data on this. This just popped up a couple days ago or yesterday, and there's not a whole lot else to say. But you know, I want to it's just a good example of how there's always like new stuff on this topic, and we'll see where it goes. But I think the the biggest, I want to reorder the stories I have here, so I'm just going to pull this down for a sec because there's a couple interesting things that have turned up on some different channels over the last couple weeks that I wanted to highlight here, and obviously I'm going to be referencing some larger channels. So I definitely check out the long form videos on these. I just have a few screenshots of some of the stuff they're talking about. But I don't know if either of you guys are familiar with a channel called American Alchemy. This guy Jesse Michaels. But
Not.
but yeah, he does a lot of like long form interview stuff that's vaguely related to dem aliens, and he went down to Mexico to look at some of these mummies. And there's a collection of space alien mummies down in Mexico. You got the Cake Boys, like these guys right here, and then you got some that are like clearly people, but they have three toes and three fingers, which are pretty freaky looking. And when people X-ray these guys, they sort of look um, like the digits are like not surgically altered, which like if you're an advanced space alien, not having a posable thumb is probably not a W. So like it's kind of weird, right? Because it's like they'd be less functional, but there's like 20 of them like this. The same guy, he went to Mexico and saw like the crazy sphere that everybody knows is fake because it's made from like a motorcycle gas tank or something. That Jaime Maussan guy was hustling that. But they got these, I don't know, they got these alien toe and finger guys. And I mean, some of these look pretty freaky. That's Zorbo.
I mean, I feel like that's what they said about that meme one, where it's like the fingers aren't surgically attached, and then upon closer review, they were in fact surgically like pieced together. So it's like, this is from that group, right? Those people.
Well, I mean, it is, but there's mummies that are found in a different spot that are like, they really look like human remains that have been like, they're either mutations or they were surgically altered, I guess. Because like this is a real guy. Like this mummy is a real guy for sure. Like they X-rayed him and there's a skeleton in there.
Correct, but I think so. The problem that I have is if it's from the guy that made the cake looking alien, that's like his third hoax. Like,
Yeah.
like like
Yeah,
after like the second one, you kind of becomes hard to believe.
Well, it's just that I mean, even if if this is like a surgical alteration, it's like 1,000 years old plus. It's not like this guy made it in his garage. Like you can just tell
Yeah.
by like the state of decay and preservation and all that. Like
So how old is this body?
they're saying they had a few different carbon dates on like two or three that were like between 1,800 and 1,000 years.
So what is that, like 300 AD?
Yeah, like for some of them, and it's just like if it, so either there's a reason they were doing this to numerous bodies over the course of a few hundred years, which like in those days, like maintaining a burial ritual for like 700 years is like kind of crazy. I don't know how much that really happened,
Yeah.
like without a whole lot of written documentation or anything like that. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, man.
I mean, how long ago were the ancient Egyptians doing like their thing?
Oh,
Because they did that for thousands of years.
Yeah, but
When are ancient Egyptian?
well, I mean, they started over so many times. You know what I mean? Like,
We're
there's
closer
they
to
kept-
Cleopatra than Cleopatra
Yeah,
was
yeah,
to ancient
like-
Egyptians.
It's kind of crazy how, yeah,
I'm just saying that-
3500 BCE. That's like triple the age almost. of
yeah,
that.
but I mean, I mean, I'm not a ancient Egypt expert, but like, I recall reading that, like, you know, they sort of started over and like repainted the walls culturally like a few times, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like a continuous stream per se where they were doing the same exact rituals the whole time.
Yeah, but they just have one of these bodies, right?
No, they have like 18 or something,
Over how long of a time period?
but a range of like 700 years.
I mean, is it impressive? So I guess you're saying this is an alien thing, or this is like a. Are you saying aliens did this surgery?
I mean, I mean, like, I find it like,
Compelling, at least.
it's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, like, maybe it's like, it's
So when they
it
look
doesn't look
at
like
the
arts and crafts. It looks weird.
yeah, when they look at the, are you saying this person was born with 5 toes and then they removed 2 to make him have 3 digits?
I'm
Or
saying
is it
it's
or is this an alien body? Is that what they're saying? 'Cause
Well,
that's what they were saying about that little one.
Well, yeah, like the doctors who are looking at this seem to be leaning like, and at least, you know, the guys who are in South America looking at it in this is like a 2 hour like video that shows some doctors x-raying it. And like, they seem to be more along the lines of, it was based on how the hands and feet look, they think it was like either like a natural sort of phenotype, like this was like an offshoot hominin, or it's like a mutation of some kind. Like, they think they're people that something really weird was going on with, basically.
Maybe
Like interbreeding with aliens is what you're. I'm looking at the.
I mean, they're not saying that because, but I mean, I don't know.
Do you have
It's-
the do you have the thing pulled up? I can let me see if I can. I don't like to pull up Reddit, but give me a second. Because there's a cross section which I think would probably illustrate a bit better what we're saying.
Yeah, like, they show some X-rays in this video, but then you do got the, like, in the same grave diggers found the cake boys like this guy.
I think the bigger thing, which we haven't touched on, is these were found in Nazca, which has like the Nazca lines, which I
Yeah.
think is, in my opinion, one of the more compelling. I don't want to say like things, but you know, just to me, that's one of the
Yeah.
most compelling things.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying
I
to
mean,
find something.
yeah, I would definitely like, if you're like a little more curious about this, I would definitely check out that American Alchemy video. There's a little interesting addendum on here where they compare a 3D model of one of these little guys they found in Nazca to yeah, that's one of the X-rays of like the small
That's
ones
one-
where they
yeah, but that one was debunked pretty
yeah.
hard, right? Like,
I think it was like the skull was made of like a part of a llama skull or something like that, right? Like,
yeah,
they figured that out. Yeah, but like like the hands on these, like some of the doctors who are looking at it, like, think that they don't really look like surgical alterations, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, how rare is it for people to be born with less than? Well, I guess he doesn't have thumbs, so that's the
But
biggest thing, right?
Well, the 3 and 3, like on like both hands and both feet, like, I don't
It's pretty rare.
think that happens. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's
It
that's
also
something
looks
else.
more ape-like, the cranium.
right. But like, also, like, there's no, like, we don't know of any like ancestor like primate that has fingers like that. Like, even regular monkeys have hands and feet more like us, right? So
Yeah.
like, there's no advantage to that theoretically. So it's kind of weird.
I mean, can a human be born? Can a human?
I'm
be
sure
born
there's been one.
with
but-
3 fingers and 3 toes.
The problem is they got like 18 of them, and then the statistics
Oh,
on a birth
18 of
defect-
them have 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
this,
see.
so the birth defect statistics become kind of
I see. Okay, I thought it was just one. I was like, I mean,
No,
it's
no, they got a
crazy.
bunch.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know I have a friend, and his son has 3 fingers on both his hands.
On both? That's
But his
I didn't.
feet, I think he has 4 fingers or 4 toes
Okay.
on his feet. He had
Wow.
like, I mean, he's healthy otherwise, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
He
pretty
just
close though. That's kind of like
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's pretty much the thing. But
But
they
this
do have a
doesn't look
bunch.
like a normal, like, the head and maybe
Yeah.
like the body looks fine and
Yeah.
the long bones, but
Yeah, maybe they were doing some of that like skull binding where the to make like that you see on some of those other bodies. But yeah, this was kind of they sort of cap off that American Alchemy video, which looking at comparing this where is that? This guy. No, that's Bobby Laser. This guy from Nazca, and then there was this video that came from like two teenagers in Siberia where they sort of come across this alien in the snow, and I mean a lot of people apparently like they like uh confessed that they like made it or something, but these it does look very oddly similar in proportion and shape to this one here. And apparently like the two guys who filmed it are pretty much like haven't done any interviews. They're sort of off the grid. And this channel is a pretty big channel. He was like at the end of this video, he's sort of soliciting people to sort of crowdsource him an interview with the two guys who filmed this video of this dead alien in the snow and see if he can actually talk to them and confirm if they wanted to
excuse me.
fess up that they faked it or not. But I don't know if you ever saw that clip, but it looks pretty good for it
I
to
mean, it
be
looks
made
like
by.
what you think of like an alien gray. Looks like.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least I
that's
think it looked like.
yeah. So like okay, so like that. So yeah, I mean, I think these guys like these the sort of cake aliens like these clearly these look like a little kid arts and crafts project to me like
Like
the
paper
chest.
mache.
Yeah, like the chest proportions, like it's like when a kid tries to draw a human torso when they like don't know anything about anatomy. Like that's kind of what this looks like, right? Like the top of the torso there. I'm not sure if I'm sold on that, but I don't know. Just the numbers that they have of the three finger ones, that if it just makes you really want to know what the heck was going on back in the day in Nazca that they have so many guys like that. But I don't know. I don't know if you caught our. We did a little clip from Movie Night where we were watching a specific newly leaked UFO video on one of our more recent Movie Night episodes, Zach. I don't know if you saw this. I want to get your take on this clip because this is what clip we were talking about on that episode, and we can talk over it here. It has no sound, but this was released by Jeremy Corbell, and it is apparently some sort of U.S. government platform filming an unknown object, and this was apparently displayed on classified U.S. government servers where it was labeled as an unknown. And I don't know if you saw this already before, but it's pretty wild considering it was on classified servers labeled unknown.
Is this the Get Out one? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Or the Nope one,
yeah. Yeah,
technically
no,
speaking.
sorry.
Yeah.
What am I looking at? Oh, that.
Okay, well, you'll see it. Here he comes. Now they have like an enhanced one here, which is I don't know if they should be using AI to enhance videos like this personally.
Oh wow.
But yeah, the government had this video on a server and said they don't know what it is.
What is the? This is a plane looking at clouds beneath it,
It's either a plane
or like a craft, one of our aircraft looking down at something
Or-
going through the
yeah.
clouds.
Yeah, or a satellite looking down. Yeah, we don't know what the platform is, but it was. There's been several DoD insiders who confirmed they have seen this video before on classified servers, labeled unknown. So that's the first time you saw that?
I've seen a few videos like that. There was one that was released. I think it was like during COVID. It was a fighter pilot tracking an object above the ocean. Um, some of the detractors were like, "Oh, it's a penguin or whatever," or not penguin, like a seagull or something. But it was hauling ass. Like, I understand like motion relative. Like, there's no way that was a fucking penguin. But no, I've seen videos like that. I haven't seen that exact video, but no, I believe it. Yeah, I don't doubt it. You're on mute. I mean, just for how I think the tough thing is like, I get everyone has a camera essentially in their pocket. Um, I think the harder thing is like, even with really good cameras, it is hard to capture some types of photography. Like, you can get, a really good iPhone, but you put that iPhone in just a little darkness, the photo gets grainy, the video gets grainy. It's hard, it doesn't have very good low light performance. And I think when you take into account as well, like, it's kind of like the Bigfoot thing where everyone's like, oh, he's always blurry. But it's like, if you take in like fear of the unknown and you're panicking and you're trying to whip your phone out, and like, it's totally feasible to me that it's difficult to capture these things. And that's why I think some of the military stuff is the most interesting, because that's, those cameras are designed to basically be able to negate a lot of that stuff. Yeah, like, they're stable cameras on a very unstable platform, being able to track objects. That one where it was just going against the water was crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know. It almost feels like they're leading us to just drop in like a big news. How they keep slowly saying like, "Oh yeah, we're looking into this," or "We're releasing this stuff," and I wonder when it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, it's just like that video we just watched is like that's something that your government has been sitting on for like 5-6 years, and like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they don't think it's China or Russia. Like it doesn't.
No,
I
don't
mean,
think so.
so like it's interesting that it gets leaked. They don't choose to put stuff like that out, and but that's not the best or most interesting or most compelling story. The Nazca mummies, probably nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm voting probably nonsense on that. But the big story this month that could turn into like one of the most important ones of the year, if you ask me, is so. Yeah, so like there's this astronomer named Beatrix Villarroel, and she has a paper that's currently in peer review that basically there's been a lot of cryptic stuff going on about this story. Like a couple weeks ago, one of her co-authors did this really weird like unedited like vlog type video on YouTube where he was just like, I can't tell you guys what we found yet, but I need to tell you we found something crazy just in case the rug gets pulled from under us. We're not ready to publish yet, but like I've seen some earth-shattering stuff this week. And he just drops that on YouTube, and it was quiet for a couple weeks. This video,
Bro,
yeah.
that's some of the most fucking frustrating, dumbest shit. It's
Yeah,
like,
but it's out now.
guys,
It's out.
it's not out though.
It kind of is.
Or did it come out?
It's kind of
It's
out.
like, guys, I have crazy world-shattering news that might get me killed, and I'm gonna share it in 6 months.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
did
just
that.
do it right now. That way they can't kill you over it because you've already done it. Why the fuck
Yeah.
are you waiting?
I agree.
What the fuck?
I agree in principle with that. So the thing here is like that, like one of her collaborators dropped that, and the video I'm linking here is the News Nation interview with her. But just today, she has an interview on another channel I really love called Event Horizon. But basically, what's going on here is she was using basically AI to analyze and compare astronomical photo plates that were like backlog archive stuff going back to the early 50s. And basically like what she found analyzing this stuff is that there's photographic plates from like I'm trying to see if it says what telescope took it, but this is like ground photography from the States in the 50s. And basically there's stuff that looks the same as like geolocked orbiting satellites in like 51, 52, when such things shouldn't be there, and especially in great numbers like these are. Like they're finding like hundreds of instances. You know what I mean? Like this is like 5, 6 years before Sputnik. Now, there's a lot of debunkers. Their first thought is, these are old, crappy photographic plates from the 50s. Like, how do you know you're not just looking at camera artifacts, noise? Like how do you know you're actually seeing genuine objects there? But have either of you guys heard about this story?
I don't think so.
I have not, but I agree. This looks like a whole bunch of nothing to me. Like,
Well, here's the okay. So, I mean, it's not gonna look like a alien spaceship, but here's the thing, right? Like, so for it can't be a meteor because it's sort of orbiting in a geolock pattern, much like a Starlink satellite would today. But this is 52, right? So here's where it gets bonkers.
1952.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here's where it gets real crazy. So there's a real famous UFO flap in Washington, D.C. in July of 52. And
Flap.
it means that a bunch of people saw them aliens over Washington over 2 weekends in 1952.
Okay.
And would you believe it? But the plates for those days got a buttload more of these artifacts. And it's like and they're also checked dates for like nuclear tests around that period, and they all show like relevant spikes in activity. And
do you have
here's
the
where
plates of those from that day?
they look exactly like this stuff. Like unless you know what you're looking at, it's like you don't it like they're specks. They're showing up like stars because these are just shots of the night sky from a
I
telescope
mean,
platform.
in this photo, there's other dots that are next to each other, so I guess I don't understand what's the significance
because
of
they're
that
be,
dot.
because they're comparing two shots of the same piece of sky, and some have the objects and some don't, taken brief periods apart. But here's the, but here's
Oh,
so
I see what you're saying. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like
here's
how they find planets. Like, oh, that one's it's moved across the backdrop that hasn't moved.
Yeah, I see.
yeah. Okay, so but it gets crazier, right? So like the idea is that this is a something in orbit that is reflecting sunlight, otherwise it wouldn't show up there, right? So like for example, if it was like a meteor or like a comet that's somehow got into geolocked orbit, which is basically impossible, it wouldn't be reflective enough to shoot this much light toward the telescope, basically. So they modeled like the types of shapes that would even be able to do this, and it's like shiny stuff that has like at least one flat surface is like the only thing that could send that amount of sunlight reflected back. So they're modeling these shapes, and but here, this is what I think is the craziest part, because like the number one like skeptical response to this is like how do you know this is not just like dust on the plate or something like that, right? So like kind of like if you've ever like watched the ISS, like if you see it like near while the sun's going down, like there's a point where like it crosses into the Earth's shadow. So like it could be real bright, and then if it passes into the Earth's shadow, it pretty much looks like it drops off the map, right? The same thing happens with these. So like at the point when they're supposed to be behind the Earth's shadow, they disappear from view on these plates, which means that they're pretty much 1,000,000% not photographic aberrations or errors, because when they should disappear behind the Earth's shadow on the plates, they do.
How far is this image? Like, is this like these are like light years away. These are like thousands of miles away.
The
Like,
stars in the stars in the background are, but like this is like, like a few degrees of the sky looking up from an observatory in the U.S.
so I guess
So
what
low
are
Earth
what are the
orbit.
so they're saying that during these like nuclear tests, these things are flying super low to
In great
observe.
numbers, sometimes in lines that look like organized rows.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
I
that.
mean, it's pretty soft. I mean, if they can, I mean, if this proves scientifically valid, like it's pretty soft disclosure. Like, chill, guys, it happened like 75 years ago. like we're not doing anything about it now. I don't know. It's pretty compelling because like they don't really like. Of course, the alternative is the space race got started a lot earlier than is publicly known. Could be that.
Yeah.
Which again, I always go back to Occam's razor.
Yeah.
It's usually the simplest answer, and that sounds more plausible than space
Although,
aliens.
although I don't think you would have notable correlations with stuff like peak UFO sightings in DC if we were just talking about orbiting satellites. So I guess it really depends how robustly they can prove those date sync ups when they like sort of present their final work. And like it better be ironclad. But that's the claim right now is that the weekend where people were seeing a bunch of UFOs in DC matches up to a ton of activity on plates. It's pretty nuts.
And also, like, how much of this is like confirmation bias? Like, they want to find this information. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, what is that stuff?
Right, but like, it's like, oh, only UFO shaped things could make this kind of image. It's like, is that true, or do you want it to be true? Like,
Well, they're saying a rock couldn't reflect that much light that would compete with the brightness of a star. It has to be like a flat reflective surface. Like I mean, there seem to be modeling that correctly, and also, anything way farther back in the background, like some of the stars you see there, wouldn't be able to move with any significance over the course of the intervals they are taking photographs. So like that
that
stuff
we
has to
know
be
of.
close. I mean, you'd be talking about breaking the speed of light. If say if one of those big stars moved like 50% across that field, like that defies physics
Okay, but
as
what
we
if
know it.
it's a sednoid that they just didn't know was there yet in 1958?
What's a sednoid?
It's like
Like Planet
Pluto,
9.
Planet Nine,
Oh.
Pluto. They're not quite planets, but they're not meteors or asteroids.
I think it wouldn't
Like a large
be
icy thing that's just not around anymore that was passing through.
it would be here still, but like I guess the main thing is if you can catch it on a 1950s plate with like basically a horrible camera by today's standards, it would have probably been found by now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just
Like
like you.
I mean, I think
You
there's
also have to think outside the box because if you're just like made up your mind that it's aliens, like you're gonna stop looking for like what else could it be?
yeah, well, I think if it's classified satellites 7 years before we even think they're there, that's a pretty interesting story too. Like I'm not mad at that if that turns out to be what it is, because then it's like you guys have a whole alternate history that's coming to light a little bit.
What were you gonna say, Zach?
I mean, I feel like there's more documented, better, more recent cases than this. Not to discount like your research, but you know, when you look at
There's nothing
are you
that's
familiar?
I
Sorry, go
mean,
ahead.
no, I'm just saying there's nothing that's uh, like if this makes it through the peer review process and gets published, there's no comparable paper that asserts documentation of technological artifacts that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I don't know about peer reviewed, but the Phoenix Light stuff is pretty crazy to me.
I don't believe in the Phoenix Lights at all.
Really? What do you think it is?
I think it's exactly what they said it was. I think it was.
Flares?
The Phoenix Lights are absolutely military flares because
That's
the
crazy.
only videos you can ever see of them, they're clearly fucking flares. Like, there's no. And here's the best thing about that. So like, I'm not like George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Corbell because, to be honest, like whenever he like has an L, he absolutely refuses to take it or ever acknowledge that he got anything wrong. And like he had a story like maybe like 2 years ago at this point. There was a bunch of guys on a military base. I think it was 2022, and a bunch of them say we saw this crazy V formation UFO, and like he was talking to people who were stationed at the base who didn't want to put their names out there, but they were willing to like go on the phone with him and say what they saw.
Yeah.
And they were all saying it was this giant V-shaped craft. And these are, and his whole argument at the time is like these are trained military soldiers. They know what flares look like, and then somebody figured out the date of the sighting, and that military base published an exercise from that same exact day that showed a V-shaped flare formation. And this wasn't even like they didn't publish it after this UFO story came out. It had been on their site like for a couple months since the exercise, and it's a V-shaped flare formation, exactly what these military witnesses on the ground describe, who wanted to bet their life as servicemen that this was an alien spaceship hovering over their base. And I mean, it was flares. And like I'm just saying, like sometimes just because you're an army guy doesn't mean you know what you're looking at. And I mean, these were definitely flares in the pictures, and these guys absolutely thought they were something anomalous. And I think if you're talking about civilian witnesses at night, magnify the chances of them being wrong, but times 10.
I think it's aliens. The videos I've seen, I don't think it's flares.
I don't think there's a single video of the Phoenix Lights that looks compelling. I would love to see one. Like they all look like flares to me, but that's one of those. It's like it never flies fast over the city. It just looks like a string of lights that's barely moving, and they're not even like equidistant apart lights. Zach's trying to find a sweet Phoenix Lights video now. I don't think that exists, but this might not seem that interesting to you guys. To some people, it's 50s plates, but like this stuff shouldn't be here. Like these objects should not be here at this point in time. It's something that's like geolocked orbit. It does not make sense. And if you can analyze a full backlog of historical photographic plates like this, you might find a lot of weird stuff. And AI is enabling that sort of work to be done because it's very good at spotting the difference between a couple pictures. And like for a person to sift through and try, like if you didn't have those circles on here and you've just reviewed 100 of these, you're not noticing these differences. like a person manually reviewing this stuff is not going to find this sort of thing. Like they're just going to turn into a zombie before they get there. So it's an exciting time to review old data because you can outsource it to the machine. But
It's probably on their side.
I guess I'm looking at the video. That does not look like flare to me, bro.
Well, you got a Phoenix Lights
You're
video?
telling me that they're staying in formation, hovering, bro. That's not how flares work, bro.
When they got little parachutes, they take a long time to come down.
I don't think so, bro. I would disagree.
I
don't think we can pull it up though either, because I know the footage is copyrighted, like the quote unquote iconic footage. But
well,
yeah.
Phoenix
I'm not
Lights
saying that the military hasn't ever done tests that have caught people unaware, but
I'm just saying, like,
because I
90
believe even during that event there were, even the military was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, the air traffic control had no idea what was going on, which, again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they would be in the know, but it's
Yeah.
just, I think it's a well documented event that has a lot of witnesses.
Yeah. I
Um,
just I just think that, like, there's enough people have turned up who have footage. It's all pretty much like, people had like digital home movie cameras in 1997, and there's no good videos that I've ever seen that don't look like flares, if you ask me. Jason Nelson saying, I say my biggest disbelief point is that the U.S. is the gatekeeper of aliens. Other countries can't agree on religion, politics, equality, but hey, let's all agree to be hush hush about the aliens. I don't think they're willfully agreeing. I think your government just slaps the crap out of them and takes their stuff if they have any alien stuff, and they don't argue with them because they're overpowered. So that's just, there's a lot of examples of similar things happening like that. There's cases where in all throughout Europe, there's 5-6 notable cases where something crashes, America shows up, scoops it up, nothing to see
gets
here,
the fuck
boys.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but also, I mean, I think there are probably some things that a lot of countries can agree upon. The Geneva Convention, the use of, generally speaking, the use of nuclear weapons. Like, I think big things. I think sometimes governments can agree on, and I think I could see that being a thing that, for the betterment of the world, that they would agree to keep private.
yeah, I could buy that absolutely. Too destabilizing, especially if they have some tech that's
I'm just waiting for Trump to be like, dude, aliens exist. Like some random fucking 2 a.m. tweet. Huge
Yeah.
news.
it's probably our best
By
chance.
the way, ET was on the Epstein list.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Just like aliens do exist.
Yeah, like right after he glazes Sydney Sweeney for being a registered Republican. By the way, aliens exist.
We need more aliens like ET. He learned English and then he went home.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's did you like that? Sounds like almost like you wrote it earlier, but I believe it was improv. That's good stuff.
I
But,
think that's horrible.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
take credit for it. man.
Illegal
It's too good.
aliens.
it's too good. I mean, one other thing I wanted to talk about before we called it a night. Oh, we got DJ here. Let's give the chat some love. I think it's mostly
This is what
top-secret
I was going to say
technology.
earlier. Yes, this is what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I'm
Read
sure
that, and
people who
I got to comment on it.
I'm sure the people who saw the B2 freaked the fuck out when they first saw it and when it was being tested.
Yeah, we have technology that other countries can hardly fathom in America,
Yeah.
right? The fucking stealth bombers, the high altitude planes, spy planes. Like, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to think that their technology is such that it's very difficult for us. That's why, like, the military videos seem so astounding to me. It's like these things are just chilling, like they're not cloaked or, it just seems silly.
Well, actually, another recent story from about a month ago. This guy, Ross Coulthart, who is like a journalist on News Nation, he said that he has in his possession definitive proof that the Tic Tac UFO from the famous 2003 Nimitz encounter with, where the Navy pilots saw that weird Tic Tac shaped object. He says
Yeah.
he says he has definitive evidence that that is a Lockheed Martin project and that they have new versions of it today that have dummy wings mounted on the side so that it looks like a conventional aircraft, but that's not how it flies at all.
Yeah.
Which means that if that's accurate, it means that Lockheed Martin was testing stuff against the Navy without telling anybody like 20 years ago, which is also crazy. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's
And
like
also
if
plausible.
I mean, it's like a complete breach of like every established, like even classified protocol. But like, but like, and also you're risking like serviceman's life like during a training exercise, and like there's a lot of
Yeah,
like,
but for like for superiority in every sense, you don't think the government's willing to sacrifice people?
Yeah, they be sacrificing
Like,
for
don't let
stupid-ass
us
training
know what
missions
the
every
fuck
day.
you're up to.
okay, but what if
So-
what if a couple of those pilots died that day? This would like, I feel like that
happens
story
all the
wouldn't
time,
have.
though. A training accident happens all the time.
Yeah, but somebody's gonna say they were panicking because an alien was buggering with them, and then it's a bigger story because we don't have any examples of a space
Or-
alien ship killing any Navy pilots right
We
now.
don't, but we also don't often get. I mean, like, it's not inconceivable the military lying to people. Like, every few months it's like, oh, there was a underwater craft training accident and like 3 people died, but that's all they say. It's not like they're gonna say, oh, they thought there was an alien and that's why they freaked out and died. They just give us
Or
vague
it's like,
information.
hey, you know how you guys were on that training exercise and like something went happen? No, it didn't.
Manny
They
Fresh.
silence people before they even get a chance.
I think if you're interested in this topic, the best thing to watch, which I was telling John, the Everyday Collector, to watch also, is like there's a congressional hearing with David Grush. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's if you watch that and you think there's nothing going on here, God bless you, because like it's either all true, or like the deep state is psyoping even the guy who gives Trump his daily intelligence briefing that there's a secret alien back engineering program. And I don't actually know which one of those two things is worse. Both are crazy. So like, yeah, check that out. It's just, if you just search congressional hearing David Grush, you'll probably find it. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. You can just listen to it. You don't got to watch the whole thing. It's like a podcast. But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one last thing I wanted to talk about here is you brought up Bob Lazar earlier. I don't know if you know about it, but there is
Hey, Bob
very
Lazar.
exciting
Element 252, bro.
yeah, bro. He's got a Dorito there that's gonna power the alien spaceship. He plops it in that kettle, but basically there's a very exciting new documentary coming out called S4, the Bob Lazar story. And the only release date we have is summer 2025, which is quickly coming to a close. And this documentary has been delayed a bunch of times. But basically the idea behind it was that we're going to work in Unreal Engine until Bob Lazar says this facility looks exactly like he
that's
remembered.
cool. That's
working
really
there.
cool.
So they just kept refining and refining until he said, I feel like I'm just another day at the office in 1989. So, they got the inside of the spaceship, they got the facility around it, and they're going to give you an inside POV look at what according to him, what his day in the life was. And they like iterated and started over the effects a bunch of times. So I think this is an interesting way to tackle this problem, right? Because it's at the end of the day, it's an account. He doesn't have any physical evidence, but if he's gonna work with them very deliberately to refine all these details, if any of this story does come out, even 20 years down the line, you're gonna be able to look back to this and say, yeah, that's pretty close to how they described it, right? This is a worthwhile historical documentation project. And I think it's from a filmmaking perspective, it's a very interesting novel idea.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. The humble one says Bob Lazar is true.
He's a plant. That's what he says.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like there's a Jeremy Corbell documentary about him called Bob Lazar and Area 51 and Flying Saucers, which like Jeremy Corbell can't help but insert himself to be like a main character of the story, and it's sort of cringe if you ask me in a lot of ways, but it does sort of cover the basics of the story, and it does show Bob Lazar's house getting raided by the FBI after he claims to have a piece of Element 115. You can you have to sort of decide for yourself if you think the raid and that public claim are related. But there's
Did they
there's a lot
really
of,
did they really do that?
yes, that's yeah. I mean, you can find that documentary on Tubi for free. It's interesting, but it's from like
That's
2018,
hilarious.
I think.
That's so funny.
But yeah, like he might have claimed on a podcast that he had that like he sort of was like maybe I got some of that, and he got raided within the week.
That's hilarious. What an idiot.
I mean, it is a kind of a crazy thing to claim that you like stole something from a from like
That
Area
element does
51.
exist though now, right? That's like
Yeah.
since this has all happened, it I don't want to say
Y-
because
yeah.
you could basically say, oh, element 181 exists, like, and eventually it could become true, but
Yeah.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's not wise to admit that you took anything from such a place. That's for
It's
sure.
not wise to admit you took anything from anywhere. Why would you say that?
Exactly.
Catch
But
me saying I took anything from anybody.
especially Area 51.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What an idiot.
But you know, there's a lot of good, credible evidence that John's got his tinfoil hat on. I don't know if you finished that congressional hearing yet, John, but I feel like John thought there was absolutely nothing to this, and I feel like some of that Navy pilot testimony opened his eyes a little bit, because like he could trust those guys, you know. But I don't know, man. Bob Lazar, like, you know, he was like a pimp for a little while. Like, you know, people assume he can't be he can't be real because he got busted for some illegal activity here and there. But I think that I don't know if that means that this couldn't have happened in 1989. You know, so so I'm kind of stoked for this. I hope it actually comes out at least in September, because they don't have an official release date yet. But he's made some bad choices. I don't think that necessarily means that the story isn't true. But yeah, I mean, John's been watching that congressional hearing with David Grush. He says, definitely intrigued, but they won't bother us in Canada. Mars attacks the USA. Well, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, like, you know, Ross Coulthart, the guy who I was just talking about on News Nation, says that there's a Five Eyes agreement with the U.S. that pretty much all the interesting stuff gets funneled over to them. So, like, you know, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all that stuff is apparently there's a solid Western civilization pact in place to funnel all the interesting material to the United States, which
believe
wouldn't
it.
surprise me.
I believe it.
Yeah. Aliens are only going to attack New York. Everywhere else is safe. Says DJ. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know,
Are
guys.
fucked here. military city USA. We got how many air bases here, Zach? 5?
4 or 5, yeah. Yeah, it's quite a few.
Yeah, but that's that's pretty much all the stories I had, guys. I don't know if you found any of that particularly compelling, but
I liked it.
yeah, man. It seems like there's always something new and interesting, and I think after a while, people are gonna be surprised if there isn't a notable announcement. But yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got. So I will pull up our lovely Patreonies here, and let's give a big thank you to Captain Fordo, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Gist, Eric Schweitzer, Six Guns Figs, Badfish, Luke Skywalker, Griffin Campbell, Aaron Broverman, Comics. Hopefully this is not out of date, Zach. Don't hate me.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
And Austin McLean, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Big Fern, Caesar American, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Jose CZ, Tukathri Wah, Aries Portillo, Alvin J, Aurelius Delgado, Toy Cartel, Sean Forrester, Manny Fresh 369, Joe Corpus, Pablo Meza, Cam Collects, Harry Dempsey, and Mr. Musashi, Sith Scale Collector, Jared Gagne, Alberto Cortez, Big Rib, The Big Donk, Trevor Weed, Darren Ilderton, Don Matan, Stephen Percha, who was thinking about joining us today, but we didn't give him enough notice. Sorry about that, buddy. Maybe we can do another one of these in a couple weeks. And Sean Yautsy, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Montanarez, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Exodus, Abe Dunk TV, Gigi the Judgmental, and Classy Thomas. Thanks very much for supporting us on Patreon, guys. And what's the current status of Dream Suds, Zach? Like, what's going on with that?
Hopefully going to be ordering the suds part of it soon, probably this week.
That's cool. So that's it's for the top tier Patreonies, and then like a few will be made available for purchase, or what's the deal there?
I think we'll lock them in for the top people, and anyone else that wants one, they'll be like $20 shipped, something like that, $25 shipped.
Okay, cool. And then we got for Patreon benefits, we have. I think you are still. We're still sent. Like, are all these sent out? The action figure stickers. Like, where are we at with those guys?
Those will be shipping this month.
Oh,
before the end of
cool.
the month.
So yeah, if you're a Sweet Angel or above, you're getting a sticker sent to you every other month, and that was 2 random action figure stickers and the Boo Bros, which is highly controversial, and I'm opposed to the concept of Boo Bros, but it's
Actually, I
Zach's
should
channel.
order that stuff now.
So-
I should order that stuff right now.
It's a great idea. And we also want to thank our YouTube channel members, 12-inch Moose Dream, Absolute Irwin, Alex Black, Aurelius Delgado, Aaron Salazar, Aaron Broverman, Ben Thomas, Big Rib, Bob Dylan, Chris Valencerina, Clinton Martin, CT603, DJ, Eddie Manzanares, Gare Bear, Harry Dempsey, Hodor, Howard Potts, Mike's Adventure World, Manny Fresh, 369, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Card, Jazzy, King Dingling, Luke Skywalker, LV Avenger 702, Figure in a Bubble, Mr. Sketch, OG Fan, 1/6 Figure Focus, Philip the Fool, Ron E, S Beam, Sam Gist, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Stephen Kret, Trevor Weed, Universal Key, and Yomo. Thanks very much for your support over there, guys. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Any last words?
No. Hopefully we can get Paul Schreiber on soon. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but we'll work on getting you
Yeah.
on, Paul.
Yeah, it's my fault, Paul. Yeah, we'll get you.
It is.
Not
my fault. Just to be clear.
Yeah, I think Zach told me to do it, and I didn't mentally perceive that. But we'll do it next time. But yeah, that was a fun chat, and hopefully, I think Zach needed to get some alien talk out of his system, and hopefully this accomplished that. And yeah, that's good, because it's hard to find people. That's the biggest travesty of this whole generation. Nobody cares about this topic percentage-wise, and it's really endlessly fascinating. And even if it's all nonsense, there's people in the government trying to trick other people in the government that it's real. That's the best case scenario, and that's crazy. So maybe we'll see if we get back to covering movies on movie night, or if we rebrand the show. I think it's literally a 50-50 situation at this point. We'll keep you posted though, and next Thursday will be small talk and not another one of these. So yeah, that's all from us.
Have alien talk. They love it.
We'll find another. I think there'll be enough new alien stories in 2 weeks to do another one of these. But for now, that's it for us. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.